I always give away too much. It's like I've got no sense of time.
Hey Lifer Tribe, welcome to another video, Living Life with Stay. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, and thank you so much for deciding to drop by today. And since you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button and becoming a permanent member of this Lifer Tribe. Y'all, I just needed to sit down and talk to you guys about confidence, especially what confidence looks like during those times in life when it seems to be the most difficult to be confident, and what confidence really stems from and what confidence really even is. I think the word confidence sometimes gets confused with maybe success, or the word confidence gets confused with arrogance, or the word confidence gets confused with money, or the word confidence gets confused with education or status or title. And none of those things are true. Confidence indeed is in and of itself just confidence, and there's none of those things that I said that you have to have or should have to have in order to feel confidence. And that's what confidence is, right? It's a feeling. It's not anything that anyone else can give you. It's not something that you can educate your way to. It's not something that you can monetize your way to. Confidence is a feeling. Confidence is something within. It's an attitude. Confidence, I could actually say, is a way of life, because your lack of confidence or the amount of confidence that you have can really affect you in every aspect of your life. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today, because we can't let our confidence diminish just because we haven't reached a certain level of success, or we don't have a certain level of education, or we don't have a certain amount of money in the bank. Because actually it's the confidence that gets you those things, right? And so when we think about education, there's a lot of moving parts when it goes into getting a certain level of education, and you have to have the confidence a lot of times to even apply for certain courses or apply for certain schools, or just to enter a room to be educated and feel comfortable in that room amongst other people. There is confidence that you need to have to even reach the goals that you need to reach in order to get to the level of success that you desire. If you don't first have the confidence to even try to put yourself out there, to start doing the things that you need to do to reach that level of success, then you're never going to reach that level of success. You have to have a certain amount of confidence to make money like you might want to make money. You know, you have to have the confidence to do the things that you need to do. So I hope y'all are picking up what I'm putting down, but the confidence needs to come first. The sad part about it, though, is so many times people lack confidence because they look at those who have the education, they look at those who have the level of success, they look at those who have a lot of money as confident people, and then they start comparing themselves to those people. And so as they start to compare, as we start to compare, then our level of confidence starts to diminish, because we feel like, well, I can't do that because this person has this, and this. I can't do that because this person has this level of support. This person has access to these resources. And so we feel like we can't achieve what they have because they're so confident, they have so much, when really we need the confidence in order to do those things. Sometimes we mistake arrogance for confidence, because unfortunately, and it's not everyone, but unfortunately there are people who have a certain level of education, a certain level of success, a certain level of financial status that causes them to then be arrogant, where arrogant is more of an attitude. Arrogance is more of a personality trait, and in my opinion, not necessarily a good personality trait, whereas confidence is a feeling. People who are confident don't need to tell other people that they're confident. They don't lead with the fact that they're a very confident person. However, people who are arrogant, that's what they lead with. And not saying that they walk into a room and say, I'm arrogant. No, they do the opposite. They walk into a room and may say, I'm very confident. And if you're very confident, people are going to know that without you saying a word. You don't have to say who you are. You don't have to say what you have. You don't have to say what you do. People can just sense confidence because, again, I told you, confidence is a feeling. Confidence comes from within. And a lot of times when you're a very confident person and you just show up, people will assume that you have a lot more going on than you really do. Let me give y'all an example of something that just happened to me today, which is the reason why I said, you know what, this might be a good video to make for the Lifer Tribe. So I consider myself to be a very confident person. I've always been a very confident person because, again, it's a feeling. And so when I say I've always been a confident person, I can back that up by saying I haven't always been a person who's had lots of education, tons of success in my life. I haven't always been a person who's had a lot of money, a lot of opportunities, but I've always been a person who's confident because I've always had the confidence to aspire to those things and the confidence in knowing that I would be able to achieve those things, right? So even though I haven't had all those things and there's still things that I'm working towards, I've always been a confident person because I've always known and had that feeling about myself that anything I set my mind out to do, I would be able to do it. And so the fact that I've always been a confident person, it's something that just exudes from me and other people see that in me without me even opening my mouth. So let's get back to what happened to me today. Well, I have just been invited to join an advisory board for one of the colleges around here and a new project, a new course that they are wanting to launch, and they're looking for some business people in the area to help give information, support, and just provide their knowledge and insight to help them create this course. And so we had our first meeting today, which was on the college campus. Now, if you know anything about me, I am someone who is extremely directionally challenged. I use my navigation system to get everywhere. I don't care if it's somewhere that I go once a week. I don't care if it's somewhere I go every day. That navigation system is on. And I've always been like that. I don't know east and west. I only know left, right, and straight. And so I need step-by-step guidance to get me places. And my mind is just full of a lot of other things. And so I don't bother to remember routes because I have other things that I need to be thinking about. But I can get turned around very easily. I'm not one of those people, if I got there, I can work my way back. And so college campuses are a challenge for me. Not necessarily driving to the college campus, but once I get on the college campus, figuring out what hall I'm going to, where I need to park, then when I get into the building, finding out where I need to be, all of that drives me crazy. And so whenever I have an event, I always just kind of dread it when I know I have to go to a college campus. But today, I'm on this advisory board that is for the college, so of course the meeting was at the college. So I get there and I look at my email that tells me step by step what I need to do when I get there. Not to even mention that when I pulled into the parking garage, the parking attendant asked me why I was there. I said, I'm here for an advisory committee meeting, and evidently he was aware that we were going to be meeting, and he gave me instructions on where to go after I parked. But after about the third instruction of turn left, go down these steps, my mind was a complete blank. I just kind of looked at him and nodded because there were like 2 different elevator rides I needed to take and what have you. And I'm like, okay, at least I have these written instructions. I'm going to follow these written instructions. Well, y'all, I get out of my car. I do make it into the building. I got on the elevator, but there were two different floors in the instructions. So there was the parking garage elevator and then the building elevator. And at one point I had to get off on the 6th floor, another time the 4th floor, and I got things confused. So I get on the elevator, I push the button, I get off the elevator, I start to walk, and I realize this is not where I'm supposed to be. So I get back on the elevator and decide to just start from where I go back to where I started and kind of redo and do it again. Now, I skipped the part that when I got on the elevator the first time, there was another woman who was on the elevator as well, and we just kind of looked at each other and exchanged pleasantries, and I ended up getting off the elevator first. Well, when I decided to go back and redo it, there were two gentlemen who were standing by the elevator who saw me get on the elevator initially, and when I got off in such a quick turnaround, they were like, hey, did you need some help, or were you looking for something? And I said, well, yeah, I think I'm a little bit turned around. And the one gentleman said, you know what, I'm so sorry. I was going to offer you help when you first got onto the elevator because I know it can be a little bit difficult to navigate around here, but you were walking with such confidence, I just assumed you knew exactly where you were going. And I looked at him and said, well, I thank you for that compliment, but it was the exact opposite. I rarely know exactly where I'm going, so I could definitely use your help. So he helped me. He actually said, you know what, I'll just go with you because it is a lot of turns and, you know, whatever. So let me just go with you. And so he escorted me to the meeting room, and I just kind of jokingly looked at him and said, are you just going to stand out here until I'm finished so that you can get me back to my car? And he said, well, I can't do that, but if you need a number to contact me, you know, I can come back up. And I said, no, I'm just kidding, but very nice to him. He was an employee of the university. Well, go on to a few more moments. We're just in the room networking and talking, and the woman who was on the elevator with me initially spotted me and came over and shook my hand, and she said, oh, I thought maybe you were coming to this meeting, but she said, just by the way you were dressed, she said, but when you got off the elevator on the other floor, I figured, oh, I guess not. And she said, but when you first got on, I thought, oh, we're probably going to the same place. And I said, well, as you can see, I was coming to this same meeting, but I got a little turned around. And she was like, oh my goodness. She said, I never would have thought that. She said, because you were walking with such confidence. So twice within 5 minutes, I was told about this confidence that I was moving with when I was actually completely turned around, had no idea where I was, and people didn't even offer me any help because I was walking with such confidence. Which the whole reason for me telling you that long story is to let you know that confidence is definitely something that comes within. Confidence is something that you don't have to think about. Confidence is something that you don't have to tell other people you have. Confidence is not something that you should use as a weapon to make other people feel bad. And confidence is something that you can have and should have even when things aren't going great. It's that confidence that keeps you from giving up. It's that confidence that lets you know that even if I'm not headed in the right direction right now, eventually I'm going to get where I need it to be. And that's the confidence that I had today. As simple as that. There was no reason for me to break down and look all confused and discombobulated, because I knew I'm in the right place. I'm in the right vicinity. I will definitely eventually get to where I need to be. And that's the confidence that I have. That's the thing that doesn't allow me to crack under pressure. That's that feeling I have that doesn't ever let me doubt myself, even when things aren't going perfectly fine, even when I may miss some opportunities. Anytime a door closes for me, anytime an opportunity is missed, my confidence just allows me to know that there's something greater for me. It doesn't make me feel like, okay, I wasn't ready for that, I'm not good enough for that. I feel like any opportunity I don't get is because it's making room for something bigger. But that's the confidence that I have. And that's what I wanted to share with you all today, to let you know that your confidence has to come from within. You have to believe in yourself. You have to let go of the negative self-talk. You have to let go of needing validation from anyone else. You have to let go of comparing yourself to anyone else, to comparing your journey to anyone else, and just believe in yourself. If there is something that you want to do, something that you want to achieve, and you are passionate about it, just believe that you can do it and move through life knowing that it will happen. It may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen in the way that you planned. It may not happen in the way that you thought it was. It definitely is not going to happen the way it happened for someone else. But as long as you keep that confidence, and behind that confidence you put in the good work and you're consistent, it will happen. And so hopefully something that I said today, something that I shared today, sparks something in you that will reignite that confidence. If you've been feeling down on yourself, if you've been doubting yourself, if you've been looking at people who are really arrogant and giving them credit for being confident, rethink that. Some of the most arrogant people are also some of the most insecure people. Confidence doesn't have to be loud at all. Remember, all I did today was walk off an elevator and go the wrong way, and 2 people thought that I was very confident, and I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. And that's not the first time I found myself in that position in life. But the one thing for sure is I've been confident that I might not know what I'm doing right now, but eventually I'm going to know exactly what I'm doing and end up exactly where I needed to be. And the same thing is 100% absolutely true for each and every one of you. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in today. I love and appreciate each and every one of you to bits and pieces. And always remember, be kind to one another and love one another, but never forget to live your life. LYFE. Love yourself first explicitly. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.
I always give away too much. It's like I've got no sense of touch.